And then let's see, Pine, what was it called? Pine something? I can't remember now. Wait, I was looking here. Pine Mountain. And I've been there before. I can't remember this. I've been camping there. I want to go camp there, check it out. I was like, let's go down there and camp and check this area out. So Pine Mountain, Georgia. Okay, Pine Mountain. And it's really not that very far from each other, so when you're thinking about like, so 1700, 1700 people now, so this area is slowly growing. All right, it's just country, and then there's Shiloh down here as well too. But I think in this area there's a good, there's a good amount of people in this area. It's like 10,000 people, and there's really not that many storage facilities in this area, honestly. So I mean, unless they've been built in the last couple of years. But so the wife owned both of them. Actually, the husband owned both of them, and then he died. And then so the wife inherited them when he died, and then she like ran it to the ground, really, essentially. And so she held on to them for several years and tried to manage them. And this one in Manchester is actually bigger. It's like 150 units or something like that. But it was in like this really weird, like it's in the downtown Manchester area, and it was like right next to this rail yard, and it was like right next to this like industrial thing, and it was just like in a very weird area. And that facility, I don't know if she ever sold it, the one in Manchester. She had it listed for like a ridiculous price, and she wanted to sell it. She also wanted to sell me this one, but I told her that I would not pay that. Like I would pay like half of what she had. I think she had it for 600, and I told her I would pay like 250,000 or something for it. And so she said no to that one. And I wonder if she ever sold that one. I'm not sure if she did or not, but I did pick this one up. And so this one here is the one where it's like 650 or 60 units. We'll look and we'll see here in just a minute. It's in this little tiny town, downtown area of Warm Springs. And let me see. And so yeah, here it is. It's just there's like, just like a little tiny town. Let's go right into here. There it is. Okay, so yeah, you see, oh yeah, so there's the one building. And then here's this building in the middle, and then here's this building. And this is essentially, this is the lot right here. Okay, this is it. And it's totally fenced in and it's gated, but it doesn't have an electronic gate. We never put an electronic gate. The way that she was handling this facility is that like it had a gate like that you could push open, and then it just had like a lock on it, and then it had like a code, like it had like a rate, like a circle lock with the code on it. And then if anybody paid, then they would get the code, and she would switch the code every single month. All right, so it's like very basic. There's no electricity out here. There's nothing out here. I mean, there's like nothing. Okay, and just super basic storage facility in a little tiny town in like a little tiny area of Georgia. Okay, so I get the question all the time, can you buy something like this? Is it worth it to buy something like this? It's worth it if the price is right, right? That's my answer. If the price is right, it's worth it. So we can look at, if any of you have any questions too, make sure that you post this into the chat as well. Is there a rule of thumb of how many units can be built on an acre of land, and generally how many storage units a $1 million facility would have in a secondary and tertiary market? No, not really, but on an acre, if it's a square piece of, Eric, if it's a square piece of land, then you could put 50 units. Okay, a half of an acre is 50 units. 1 acre is 100 units. I did see one. I'm going to pull up storage here in just a minute, but I did find one storage facility in Georgia that was like perfectly built. Essentially, it was a 2-acre lot, and it had 200 units on it, and it was just like row. It was like perfectly built 2-acre lot, right? So essentially you can go off of that, but typically I never see that because people really don't like do that properly, right? So on average, I mean, if you had a 2 acre lot and really measured it out and like, what's it called? Not the is it the variance where it's like, it's away from the, like the road and stuff, that amount of road, and then you can calculate inside of it. That's called is that not a variance? That's a setback, sorry. The setbacks of like a 2 acre lot, right, are usually like 10 feet from like the road or something like this, and you probably have setbacks on all sides. So then you have to really calculate how much space do you have within that area to build on, right? So I would say on an acre, on average, 100 units, but it really depends on the setbacks of like how it is. Like, so for instance, like in Atlanta, your setback is like not 10 feet. It's like a ridiculous amount of feet is what it is. Okay. Like 50 feet, or I can't remember how much it is, but it's a lot, so just think about that as well too. Okay.